Hello, accountability buddies. This is Les, and less is more healthy. And I'm recording another episode. I'm back at the Willows, which probably just looks like greenery, standard Massachusetts greenery at this point. And it's a decent day today. I think it's supposed to get decently warm, but not overly warm today. So I'll be out walking before it gets too warm. It looks like, so today's going to be in the 70s. Tomorrow's going to hit the 80s again. Friday in the mid 70s, and then pretty cool over the weekend. We're talking high 50s over the weekend. One day we're supposed to get some rain. The other day is supposed to be nice. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get a ride in. That's a thing that I haven't factored into my plans for, the Trevor Project fundraiser is like rain delays. Like, am I going to be able to ride every weekend, or am I going to have to get some time in during the week? Which will be hard because I don't have time off until the very end of the month. So, that's going to be a difficult thing. But, anyway, today kind of wanted to talk about old habits, bad habits, and new habits. So, in full confession, yesterday I engaged in an old, very bad diet habit or food habit, whatever you want to call it. So I am a huge fan of salty, crunchy foods, and in my past I could sit, watch a movie, and kill an entire bag of potato chips just without thinking. Just crunchy. There's something about the crunch. There's something about the salt. Big fan of salty, crunchy, foods. More so, like, I'm more of a salty, crunchy person when it comes to bad snacks, than I am sweet and sugary. I'll go for, if you give me the option between like a candy bar and a bag of potato chips, I'm going to go for the bag of potato chips every single time. And that's not great for a diabetic. You'd probably be better off eating a candy bar for a one-time hit of 200 something calories and a great deal of carbs versus the 1,000 calories in a bag of potato chips, and many more carbs. So anyway, now normally what I do so that how do I explain this? I'm trying to think of the right way to explain this. So I engage in those bad habits when I get hungry, or used to engage in these bad habits on a regular basis when I got hungry. So I would stop and get chicken nuggets on my way home. I would stop and get French fries on my way home because I would just be that hungry after work. Because I wouldn't eat during the day, or I would eat at a certain time and then not eat the rest of the day. And, that's not really, when you're type 2 diabetic, eating smaller amounts of food throughout the day is better for you. Not eating giant amounts of food at the end of the day is really bad. So, yeah, that was a thing that I would do all the time. And the way that I kind of stop myself from doing that is I keep protein bars in my backpack at work. I keep protein bars pretty much everywhere. And I do protein bars because they're basically a 2-to-1 ratio of protein to carbs. And that keeps my blood sugars level. That keeps me from engaging in some of my worst habits. Like buying French fries. I mean, I had sweet potato fries a while ago, but I haven't had French fries in a long time. And, that's, a thing. I haven't had potato chips in God knows how long until last night. So, I ran out of protein bars, so I don't have them in my backpack. I left work. I wasn't feeling hungry until I got in the car, and then I was a little hungry. And that's also another thing with this new medication is I don't feel hungry. I get a little twinge of hunger, and then 15 minutes later, I'm I need to eat something now because I feel a little queasy, and I just need to eat now. And so I stopped to pick up groceries on my way home, and we're doing tacos, and usually for tacos, instead of buying wraps or things like that, I will buy, corn chips because I can count them out, and it's easier for me than hard taco shells. Usually the carb count is a little lower, because I'm counting, or I'm grabbing a handful. I'm not counting them. And that just makes it easier for me. And, so I'm in the chip aisle, and this hunger hits me. Then, like, I need to eat. And because I'm there, I pick out the bag of chips that I want. And I, also grabbed a bag of chips. I wasn't really thinking about it. I just grabbed a bag of chips, threw them in the cart, and that was that. So, yeah, and then opened them in the car and ate a lot of them. Way more than I should have. And that's what I would have done in the past. That was a regular occurrence. Like, hungry in the grocery store, buy a bag of chips, kill them before I get home. Fortunately this time I didn't finish the whole bag of chips. I, probably ate a quarter of it, a little more than a serving, a little more restraint than I would have, before, but still I did it. And, I'm trying not to beat myself up for it, because I've made really good progress in, like, my eating habits and my health and feeling fit and all of that. What I'm trying to do is learn from this. Like, I'm looking at the breakdown of my new good habit. And the breakdown is that I've run out of protein bars. We're expecting another shipment. So I don't have any more in my bag. So I did end up moving some into my bag, and I did pick up a package, at the grocery store. They're not my preferred kind. But I picked up a package of them and to hold us over until the new ones come in, from Orgain. And, yeah, so, like, just trying to, like, look at the breakdown. And also, the other part of the breakdown is that when I went into the grocery store, I don't have my backpack with me. So even if I had the protein bar with me, I wouldn't have had access to it because it was in the car, and I didn't have a bag with me to eat. Now theoretically, I could have gone and grabbed a protein bar off the shelf and eaten it in the store and paid for it. But I feel weird about doing that. I know a lot of people, grab things in the grocery store and eat them. So, and hopefully pay for them. That was something that always happened in the grocery store, when I worked there. So I'm just trying to, like, look at it and learn from it rather than look at it and judge myself for the breakdown. And having one day where I ate excess carbs is not going to kill me. It's if I get back into that kind of pattern of behavior of stopping at McDonald's on my way home and getting fries and nuggets, or stopping on my way to work and getting, a breakfast sandwich. That is the thing to be concerned with, not a one time I ate a quarter of a bag of potato chips. That's not to be concerned about. That's not something to be overly worried about. It's if I were, again today, if I have to stop at the grocery store, and I have to, if I, again, on my way home today, stop and buy another bag of potato chips and eat it, or stop and pick up a thing of French fries and eat it, that's a place where I should be concerned. Right now, this is not concerning. It's like, okay, so I slipped up, not a big deal. The good thing is that I did that the day after I did a 17-mile bike ride. The day after I rode almost 40 miles over the course of 3 days. So like that's the thing that I'm trying to like remind myself is like my body actually needs more carbs after I do these strenuous exercises. And, maybe part of the reason I had the craving for that is because my body needed it. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, my blood sugars have been good. My blood sugars were good this morning. So it's just kind of like, I had a slip up, and I had a slip up after I, rode 17 miles, or is it 17 something miles, and then another almost 17 miles, and then 5 miles. So nearly 40 miles over, probably more, actually 40 miles, over the course of 3 days. Like that's a lot of mileage. That's a lot of exercise. And my body is still healing from that. My muscles are still sore. My thighs and calves are sore. My shoulders and forearms and biceps are sore because I changed the position of the bike. I mean, we're not even talking about the bruising in my crotch area from the seat. I don't know if it's actually bruised. It feels bruised. It's just like you hit something enough times, that flesh gets soft. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of learning from mistakes, learning to not judge myself, learning not to beat myself up because I slipped up, and being okay with that. So that's like it's a whole thing. Like those old habits, they creep up. The new habits aren't fully ingrained yet. A new habit is never going to be as ingrained as something that you did for 10 years that got you to a point where you've got to have the new habit. Like that's just what it is for me. It's like I did this stuff for 20 years, and that's why I have type 2 diabetes. Plus, the genetics and all of that. It's not all entirely on me. It's also I have these genetics that predispose me to this condition. So anyway, that is a thing that is happening right now. And, I'm just really thinking about like going back and making my new habits frictionless. I keep talking about like making things frictionless, making riding my bike frictionless, making going for a walk frictionless. And making something frictionless means there are going to be moments of friction that I have to learn how to smooth out. And so learning from this mistake means that, I learn how to smooth out this mistake. And that's okay. It's okay to have bad days. And that's the thing that I keep telling myself. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have an off day. Just learn from it and take that information with you forward. And that's all I can do, right? Take that information with me forward. So, I hope that, you found this helpful. I hope that, you are not beating yourself up for making mistakes if you've made them. I hope that, this helps you, not beat yourself up. And so with that, I'm going to thank you for tuning in. I'm going to thank you for the follows. Thank you for the thumbs up, the likes, and the comments. It's all really motivating for me. It really helps hold me accountable. I really, really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't had the time yet, check in the comments below for my Trevor Project fundraiser. Please share the video in addition to liking it. Let other people know, if you have friends or family that are living with type 2 diabetes, share this with them and maybe they'll find it helpful too. And so with that, I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.